In February 2015, the world was blessed with the 10th volume of Jitsuwa Watashi wa, and it truly was special, because it came with the famous chapter 86, which upon its release changed the world. Well, it changed my world. The chapter included a confession and the beginning of the relationship between our female lead Yoko and the male lead Asahi. Most shockingly, this confession did not spell the end of the manga, as Jitsuwa Watashi wa ran for a total of 22 volumes and bringing the total chapter count to just shy of 200 at 196. And most importantly, Jitsuwa Watashi wa planted an expectation to my brain that relationships do not spell the end of the Romcom manga. Jitsuwa Watashi wa is not unique, and you can replace it with Kaguya-sama, Love is War, or Dangers in My Heart, just to give out two quick examples. It was just that Jitsuwa Watashi wa was my first encounter with this supernatural phenomenon, as Jitsuwa Watashi wa was filled with cool beauties, dumb idiots, and outdoor sex. Read it if you want the context. Why is this relevant? Now, if you read the Sono Bisque doll, or My Dress Up Darling from now on, you have probably put the two and two together and figured out what I want to talk about. Reception to the seemingly sudden end to the Darling manga has been mostly positive, yet disappointed at what could have been. So let me indulge you and share you my thoughts about the ending and the topic of whether or not rom-coms should keep going after our main couple gets together. Okay, to lay out the groundwork. We are talking about a very specific type of rom-com manga, where the chapter count could be in the hundreds, and then the relationship starts, and the manga either ends shortly after, or keeps going perhaps for hundreds of chapters. So manga like Bloom in Love, How to Grill Our Love, Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, or God knows how many Yuri manga I've read in past few months that fit this bill. Those are out of the picture. We truly live in a Reiwa era, and these type of manga keep popping up more and more, where the relationship actually starts early. Let's work backwards. Dress Up Darling ends very shortly after Koyo and Marin get together, and we only have several chapters where those two are officially an honest-to-God couple. While those two have been acting like a couple for almost 100 chapters, it's still rather disappointing that we don't get to see more of their life as a couple. This can be pretty hard to explain, so I've prepared an example. Anjo, the mischievous gal, is get this, a nerdy pal who is a bit of a high school outcast, which is putting it mildly, gets approached by a social gal who enters in a friendship with this pal. Forget about the Reiwa era, we live in a otaku Axkuaru era apparently. Now in my opinion, Anjo the gal is not as good as Marin the gal, but it has one difference. Our gal and pal confess and enter into a relationship, and the manga keeps on going. This has multiple new avenues that the story can take. Most notably, you can focus more on the side characters, and crucially, the side ships, a true salt of many a rom-com. But it does not stop there, as the main relationship also gets some new angles to consider. What happens after the graduation? What is the difference between a friendship and a romantic relationship? Does it change for the better or worse? Is it perhaps going too fast or too slow? What if it actually doesn't work? Should we break up and stay as friends? Can we stay as friends? You can do most of these without a romantic relationship, as they are typical questions in a coming-of-age stories. But having a relationship adds a new layer to everything, and it can elevate an okay rom-com to a great one. While it does work in Anjo the gal's case, it might not work in other cases, as sometimes it can really shine a light on the flaws that were there but now they're amplified, whenever we don't focus on our leads. You just want to see the main couple figure out their feelings but get interrupted by some characters that occupy the "oh yeah, that person exists" part in your mushy brain. Oh hello commission. So continuing your story after the main couple gets together is not some silver bullet, and neither is it detrimental to end your story right after that. Let's take for an example Oh hello my dress-up darling. I hope I didn't paint the wrong picture for you with this preamble. I love my time with my dress-up darling, the last few chapters included, and my disappointment with how abruptly it ended did not sour my mood. How Gojo and Marin talk each other up and others is the reason why I read and watch my dress-up darling. The romance is secondary. Marin is such a positive ray of sunshine, and Gojo over the course of the series really works with his insecurities, improves on his craft, and actually reaches out to other people, just like Marin did to him. The side characters, while not as good as our leads, are still fun to follow. I make a conscious effort to only talk about media that I like, and I will be watching the second season and will most likely enjoy it, as my dress-up darling really stands out from your typical rom-com. Like, I've never gotten goosebumps from a cosplay before, and I really like 2.5 dimensional seduction. This rarely gets brought up as a positive, but ending your manga shortly after the confession is a great cap to your story, and a natural place to end your series, even if readers, like myself, are left with thoughts of what could have been. What manga like Jitsu Watashi wa Kaguya-sama or my dress-up darling have in common is that they have great qualities other than whether or not the story ends after our leads get together. It's easy to point out one element and say that this was the difference in quality, but it's never so simple. There are many moving parts, and in my dress-up darling, those moving parts are mostly amazing, and the journey is definitely the meat of this story. Note that I haven't actually talked about why this sudden ending happened. There were clearly several plot lines that were either dropped or rushed to make this ending, and many fans speculate that this was because of the author's poor health. Now there is nothing concrete backing this up, but the publishing moving from weekly to monthly and the work the author did for the anime while making the manga could have contributed to the sudden stop and give credence to these rumors. There is still an epilogue chapter left, and if something comes up relating to the author's health, you can call me an idiot, and I'll pin a comment telling me so. Perhaps the author was just like Gojo, working long nights and delivering the chapters along with the text, "It's done, I'm going to sleep." Or this is how the author wanted to end the series all along. Shinichi Fukuda will most likely tell us if that is the case, when all is said and done. Where to go from here? Well, the natural places to look would be 2.5 dimensional seduction for the cosplay aspect, and the Anjo the mischievous gal for the gal acts nerdy romance aspect. Or just pick any of the popular romcoms, like Hokkaido Girls are super adorable, Please Go Home Miss Akutsu, or Gal Can't Be Kind to Otaku for your Kyoaru needs. Of course, for you copium lovers, a sequel series or even anime original material for my dress-up darling is not out of the question, as these things have happened before, but maybe it's better to move on. Anyway, let's put a pin to this story and end this video. Go read or watch my dress-up darling. It's still a very good read or watch. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for, I don't know, a funny clip perhaps. Take care and see you next time.